Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Pentiment here on the PC. I'd say that we are well into the section of the game where the events and recap would constitute a pretty significant spoiler, so if you've arrived at this episode, we're pretty deep into it now, into at least the start of Act 2, and I would want to give anybody who had intended to play it themselves an opportunity to jump out. If you are watching this here on Twitch or over on future YouTube channel at some point, then in the collections list or playlist, you should be able to jump back to episode 1. But aside from that, we are going to be jumping into episode 4 here, immediately after welcoming Pentiment and Maxine and everybody else raiding over. Pentiment, Maxine, I hope that you had a great time with the Division 2. I also was in your stream earlier, I saw that Haseo was there, and another person who I'm just blanking on right now, but they were chatting with you, Pentiment, and I hope you had a very good time. With that, welcome. Let's go ahead and continue where we picked up, which is... a good 7-year jump into the future from where we started the game, and I think that we were just about to go to sleep. Was this our first full day? I don't remember if it was our first or second full day in back here in Kirsau, but here we are. We're gonna go to sleep. It's getting late. I should get some rest. Yeah, as far as I know, we did everything that we could for today. Harmonious Crow was there as well. Yes, hello to Crow. Crow, I hope you're having a wonderful weekend so far. So I deliberately wanted to stop before doing the sleep because sometimes it'll do a cutscene or you'll get a dream sequence. Okay, so we're gonna go meet Illuminata at the library. And as we go, and I will offer absolutely no spoilers here, as I say to Crow, one of Crow's streaming friends, AP, has been playing their very first playthrough of The Last of Us, Part 1, which has recently been released on PC, and it's just been so much fun getting to see somebody with his heart and style encountering that game for the first time. And I wanted you to be able to hear what I'd said in chat earlier. It's really been great, and I hope that you will pass that along to him as well. Yeah, as Crow says, he's really loving it. Okay, did you drop this Caspar? I don't think so, Master. That script looks beautiful, Master Andreas. Did you write that? You were warned. Warned? What does that mean? Well, I know what it means because at the end of Act 1, Andreas got a note in his book saying, "Don't ever come back here. Leave this place and never come back." Pentiment says, "I'm glad he doesn't have any of the issues everyone else is talking about." He has had a couple crashes recently, apparently following up on the most recent patch. Hopefully they will continue to work that up. Warned about what? I can't say it's nothing, don't worry about it. I don't know Caspar very well, but he can't... I feel like Andreas is in danger coming back here, especially with a note like that. You were warned. So I'm going to let Caspar know about it because otherwise he can't keep an eye out or keep himself safe if he doesn't have the information. And hello to Hickey. Hickey, I hope that your Sunday has gone well. I hope your whole weekend has gone well. How? I thought they caught the murderer. Yes, but it's complicated. Let's just head up to the library, Caspar. All right, Master. For people joining in progress, Caspar is our apprentice, so he's learning to be an artist, a tradesman, or whatever Andreas's title is. They say is a master. Okay, that's the out. I remember that. Good day, Master Mahler. Oh, we don't get any more conversation. And is that... Yeah, so I was calling this guy a conquistador. He's not, I don't think. He looks more like a minstrel. I don't know, but he's carrying a sword. Samuel. He doesn't have very much to say. As Solid Chrome Hickey says, the weekend was gone much too quickly. I share that assessment. So I'm going to look on the map very quickly. Oh, and I should note, and this may come up at the end of the episode as well, I want to go visit the mill. I keep trying to, like, find Paul or the Muellers. Let's do our, what's it called? Hedonist. I'm sorry, do I... Oh, Andreas Mahler. Forgive me, I didn't recognize you in such dress. I like she's married and so is Andreas. And no matter how he feels about it, I don't like the idea of, like, stepping out on his marriage. Maxine says, yeah, as weekends do. Also says, hello to Hickey. Even my 1 week vacation has passed way too quickly. That's right, Maxine, you're at the end of your vacation now. I really hope it was relaxing and you're heading back into work feeling somewhat refreshed. Ah, such manners. My pleasure. Who is this young man? Caspar, my apprentice. Hello, mistress. Oh, you must meet my darling Paul. Ho would love to meet someone his age pursuing art. Just not where Lunhart can see. That's right, that reason I wanted to meet up with Paul is that we encouraged him to continue on with his art studies. No, we 100% should. I'm sure we can arrange that. That would be delightful, Master Mahler. Thank you both. You're most welcome, Elsa. I must now return to my work, Master Mahler. Until later. Until then. So I noticed that she is dressed very finely, and that was a story from 7 years ago. The mill was really ratcheting up prices because basically they were the only game in town. They had something of a monopoly on milling all of the grain into flour. Maxine says it was relaxing but would have liked another week. Yeah, at the start of the year, I elected to cut my holiday vacation a few days short because I knew it was going to be a busy year, and I still feel that was the right call, but think back wistfully on when that was an option to just have more time off. As we go up the hill here, what I was starting to say, and this might come up again near the end of the stream, is the next 2 weeks are going to be really busy at work, like much more than before. So it's the sort of thing where if it threatens to distract from what would otherwise be a normal streaming schedule, it may actually, but before we go ahead, it might actually trigger some of the pre-recorded videos that we've done. So if that were to happen, what we'll do is probably reach out to Mia, and, you know, if anybody else wanted to help spread the word, it's not for sure yet, but if it happens, the form that would take is that we start publishing some pre-recorded VODs onto the channel every single day until we can resume with normal streaming. I'm not sure that'll happen, but we'll try to, like, thread the needle there and make sure that new content continues to come up no matter what happens with work. Also, Sam Lander's returned from the D&D movie, and with groceries. Harmonious Crow wants to know if it's any good and says that she loves Chris Pine. Sam Lander says it's very good, not perfect, but very good. That sounds like several steps above every other Dungeons & Dragons movie that I've seen, so that sounds excellent. Have I... Really? That's all we get? Isn't this the first time... Am I misremembering? Isn't this the first time that we've spoken with him? Since we came back? Markwack is asking, were you able to recover all your pre-recorded material that was deleted? Yes. I don't know what happened. I do know. Thank you for asking, Markwack, and I hope that you also had a great weekend. These cucumbers are growing quickly. I'm sure whatever isn't eaten will be pickled. So we had uploaded a bunch of pre-recorded stuff onto the channel, and then one day a lot of those pre-recorded VODs were simply deleted or were no longer visible. Now, that wasn't a crisis because we still had the original videos and started uploading them again. But yes, Mark Wack, at one point, they just all reappeared like nothing had happened. That's very strange, but yes, it's all there. Several actual complete playthroughs, so yes, it's all there and would be ready to go if necessary. But otherwise, Mark Quack, I hope that you're having a great weekend. Sam Lander saying it was a good movie that happens to be D&D. It was not good for a D&D movie, if that clarity makes sense. I wonder what recipes the brothers have for peas. I feel like this is the first time that we've been to the Abbey in the modern day now, in the 7-year time jump, so I do want to take a look around to see who we can meet and talk to. Hey, Volkbert. Oh, Master Andreas. It's been so long. Good to see you, Brother Volkbert. How are you? I am well. I'm a monk now. Brother Lucas, too. I still do the same work, but now I have the same robes as the other brothers. Yeah, let's ask about the abbot. Has the abbot been treating you well? Yes, he has. The work is hard, but I am happy. That's good to hear. I'll leave you to your work, brother. God bless you, Master Andreas. Go to the left. Or right, right, go right. So I can't seem to go right, apparently. Oh, so if we go up a little bit, then we can see that the abattoir is locked up. Maxine's got to go to sleep. Maxine, have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out. Yeah, that Thora Birch movie is garbage. And it's not garbage because of Thora Birch. Like, she's a fine actor, and probably some of the other people in it are good actors, but whew, it's real bad. Like, Jeremy Irons is in it, right? Like, you know, these people have been in good things. So here's the grave of Mother Cecilia, 1463 to 1522. The headstone is well made. Her family must have commissioned it. Brother Piero. Yeah, that's actually where we started, so I take it back. Rest in peace, my old friend. Holy hell, this guy's still kicking. Hello, who is this? It's Andreas, Brother Adok. Andreas Mahler. Oh. Oh, Andreas, the fine young artist from Nuremberg. You flatter me. Your art flattered my writing, yours and Brother Piero's both. God rest his soul. It is a blessing to work with talent such as yours and Piero's. And Gabriel and Rupert and Sister Michaela when the nuns helped us with our labors. So many years of toil. They are all gone now. I pray that all are at rest with the Lord. Soon I will be gone, then Brother Guy and all that will remain of us. Soon I will be gone, then Brother Guy, and all that will remain of us are our books. But enough of that. How have you been, Andreas? This guy seems to have really mellowed out. I remember both he and Brother Guy, and Brother Guy is still like a huge asshole, but this guy seems okay. I feel like this is the most honest thing for him, based on everything that we've heard. Successful in body, if not in spirit. I'm sorry, Andreas. The dreams of youth often do not survive the march of years. But take heart that the Lord is always here for us in times of sorrow. You seem more at ease now than when I was last here. Do I? It may be so. I may have worked in the scriptorium beyond the limits of this body. It pains my joints and strains my brotherly love for Guy. The scriptorium took my sight and the use of my hands, but when it closed, it also took the pain from my heart. The abbot is content to let me serve the Lord through prayer and contemplation, and so it also contents me. So that's pretty good. It sounds like he has done his piece for you know, the abbey, and now he's allowed to live out his retirement years here. At least that's a decent thing.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I must rest now. It is good to hear your voice at Kirsau again. God bless you.
God bless you, Brother Adok. Is this where Matthew lives now? Is he the prior? Do I remember that correctly? I'll be very interested to know what, you know, what Matthew's perception of Andreas is, because Matthew is one of the dudes who we covertly witnessed going into the library to have some alone time with another guy, and my whole point as Andreas was like, this is not my business, and I'm not going to blackmail you, and I'm not going to make you feel guilty. I'm just going to make it clear, I didn't see nothing, and you're good. And hopefully Matthew will remember that and will have interpreted it in the way that I intended. The scriptorium fell into disrepair quickly after Father Gernot closed the library. Oh, look who's not inside the library anymore. Greetings, Master Mahler. We have to see if she's still, like, really, like, snotty and rude about everything. Hello, Sister Zdena. You're looking like a real artist now. I'm impressed. You must be livering like a lord. Let's see. A lord who strapped down with obligations to others. Between my wife and my patrons, I'm miserable. That's not a cool thing. Overburdened with problems. I've no time for my own art, only that of patrons. That sounds like more where he's at. I've had to travel all over for my patrons. It's been difficult with the revolts. So here's the thing. I don't know a lot about the revolts at this time period. So I feel like Andreas is feeling kind of not where he wants to be professionally or personally. Oh, how dreadful. At least you can choose your patrons and do what vocation you please. Look how mad she is right now. And that's, by the way, she's probably mad because she doesn't get to choose her vocation or patrons. And I get that. It's just like, she would be difficult to be more rude when we were trying to work with her at the library earlier. I'm not going to say this. Why don't you like living at Kirsau, sister? I'm not like you, Andreas. I never chose this life. My family couldn't marry me off to anyone of higher rank, so they donated to the abbey. The amount was substantial enough for the abbey to take me in as a nun. I was forced to take the habit. I loved my life before Kirsau. At least you chose your vocation. It was shoved into mine and forgotten. And here you are, muttering as though you aren't the most successful person in Tassing right now. Is that why you dislike Mother Illuminata so much? Does she? I feel like that topic hasn't really come up yet. Yes. Mother Illuminata. Wow, Mother. That's right. She got promoted. Mother Illuminata comes from a similar family, but she came to Kirsau willingly. She could have had the life I wanted, but instead she chooses to moralize me for all of my transgressions. I've accepted a lot these past years, but I can't ever be as perfect as Illuminata. Still, it's better than it was. ... I should return to my duties. Thank you for speaking with me, Andreas Mahler. Until later, Sister Zdena. So, I mean, yeah, we'll probably go here. She's probably... Oh, we can just walk right in now, huh? God bless you, Andreas. It has been too long. I know Father Abbot made it clear you were not to return when you left, but we had hoped to hear from you. Yes, my apologies. You're right, of course. Yeah, it's good to see her again. I feel like we got on pretty well with Mother Illuminata, or Sister Illuminata at the time. This is my apprentice, Kaspar Ziegler from Salzburg. God bless you, Mother Superior. God bless you, young Kaspar. Master Mahler. It's good to see you, sister. We literally spoke 2 minutes ago. You as well. I'm sorry you have to see it in such a state. It sees very little use these days. What happened? After Baron Rothvogel's murder, we had fewer and fewer wealthy patrons. The small number that held out lost interest. It's easier to commission new work from the Guild of St. Luke or individual masters in big cities like Nuremberg. Is it this button? Yeah. Regulated trade, artists who sought to have apprentices and businesses often had to become members for the privilege. Got it. Oh, and hello to More Than a Mia. Mia, I thank you so much for the Farming Sim stream. I believe that was the final stream of Farming Sim 22, at least for now. It has been a lot of fun getting to see you learn that game, and boy, it is dense. There's a lot to, like, figure out that the game just sort of, like, cuts you loose for. Father Gurnet saw no reason to keep the scriptorium or library open. Most of the books here have been suffering of neglect. After Mother Cecilia's death, neither I nor Sister Zdena had the time to maintain our inventory. So, like, seriously, I'm legitimately curious. How would you maintain books in this era? I mean, like, I don't know how you'd maintain books in the modern era either, except that maybe you'd want to, like, spray it down for, what are they, like, silverfish or whatever they're called, that, like, eat paper. But that's modern day. Like, I don't know what they would have done back in the time. Patigan says, am I the only one glad I can see another game? I can't watch too much farm sim in a stream. I like getting to watch people learn a variety of games. And yeah, sometimes there'll be games that, like, aren't for me, but hey, then that's the great thing about Mia being a variety streamer. Whatever she's playing on one day, she'll be playing something different on the next. Kirsau was one of the last monastic scriptoria in Bavaria. Yeah, I do think it's terrible. As Brother Piero was fond of saying, all things change in time. Now all that remains are books for sale to interested parties, a task that Father Gurnet has entrusted to me. ... And Sister Zdena, of course. I guess I'm eager to look through the inventory? Master Andreas, maybe you could find a book for little Magdalene, something that's not in print yet. Do we remember who Magdalene is? Excellent idea, Caspar. Okay, time out. Who's Magdalene? Is she one of the kids in town, or is she somebody else? Hold on, let's go over to people. We're gonna go to M for Magdalene. Daughter of Klaus and the late Marie. Sister of the late Berthold. I know Klaus. Yeah, so I was thinking about this between streams. Was I supposed to spend... This is a rhetorical question. Was I supposed to spend more time with Klaus 7 years ago? Because, like, I felt like I had other stuff to do, and I barely perceived him as being somebody that Andreas knew. Parzival. Perhaps Klaus would not object to this romance given its emphasis on Christian virtues. A 13th century retelling of the Arthurian hero Percival, written by Wolfram von Eschenbach. Themes of love and chivalry are prominent in this adventure tale. Well, I mean, maybe. The German is a little dated, but I'm sure she'll figure it out with Klaus's help. Who knows, maybe it will inspire her imagination. Can I look at the other options, though, first? If that's the only option, so be it, but... Huh. I think these are Latin translations of some of Origen's homilies. It also looks like it's partially burned. Origen was a prolific 1st century ascetic and theologian best known for his exegetical writings and homilies, influenced the development of the Trinity and the ransom theory of atonement. Oh, right, yes, of course. Probably not a great gift for a young... Wait. This is the same bookhand as the notes I found when the Baron was murdered. Whoever wrote this is responsible for writing the notes. I need to ask Illuminata about this. Also, why do we suppose it was partially burned? Was it to cover that up? Samlander can watch an infinite amount of farming sim if Inner there is there to spend some Dixper crates. His timing is impeccable. A copy of Jacobus de Voragin's Golden Legend. Every good Christian should know the legend of the saints. And the Latin is simple enough that she should be able to read it before long. Oh, Richard de Bury's Philobiblon. It's a text on the collections and preservations of books. Oh, well, this would answer all my questions if I could speak this Latin, or read it. 13th century priest and later Bishop of Durham. Richard de Bury was one of the first private book collectors and is best known for the Philobiblon, which prescribed the care of his collection. Maybe this is where Illuminata and Cecilia learned all their tricks. Certainly a good book for a printer's daughter. Yeah, but that's like giving somebody what is it, like an edutainment game? What would you like for your birthday, little kid? Oh, I would like a video game. So you get them like Mario is Missing that just teaches them geography. Nobody likes that. Albertus Magnus de Animalibus. It's ostensibly a bestiary, but it contains so much more knowledge on a variety of topics. This could inspire an interest in animals and the natural world. Beautiful illustrations as well. So I think that actually, we might give her that one. And I'll tell you why. It's the illustrations. Because if we just hand some little kid like this dense Latin script and like, oh, someday she'll be able to read it, based on what? Do we know that she's going to be afforded the option to an education? On the other hand, if we give her something she wants to read, which has like pretty pictures, and this would go for any kid, by the way. I remember distinctly thinking in my head, why would you ever want to read a book that didn't have pictures? I remember being mystified by why adults would choose to read these big, thick books that had no pictures in them at all. It was the pictures that made me want to learn the story and learn to read. So that's what I'm thinking might work for Magdalene. Have you decided on any books to purchase? Yes, just one. It was this one, right? The Animalibus? I'm pretty sure it was this top one. The Golden Legend, he said that all Christians should know, and that one's in simple Latin. The Parzival is dense enough that Klaus might be able to help her through it. And honestly, I don't remember the Philobiblon right at the moment, but I'm pretty sure this was the one with the pictures. It contains a wealth of knowledge. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Klaus Drucker's daughter Magdalene will. The Latin may pose a challenge for her, but I'm sure with persistence she can overcome it. Is there anything else you need? Yes, Mother Illuminata. What do you know about this book? I don't know anything. This is the first time I've seen it. Where did you find it? I've seen it on one of the lower shelves. I don't think it's in our catalog. It's burned around the edges. Why? How can I find out where it came from and who wrote it? If it's not in our catalog, I'm afraid I don't know whom you could ask. If it was a recent edition, the only people who would know are Mother Cecilia and Father Matthias. Wait, if it was a recent edition? How recent? Because Mother Cecilia's been dead for a few years, hasn't she? I guess they don't take in a lot of new books then. Oh no, Grumpy's noting that Moo turned off the ice machine in his office, so he is now iceless. Also, as Mia says, she lost an entire truckload, trailer full of shipment today. It was heartbreaking, but at least she got the trailer back. Matthias is still kicking, isn't he? Oh no, he was the original guy. So that means the only two people that would know are dead. Is this joke gonna go over okay? I'm gonna make it nonetheless. A joke, Mr. Muller? He goes, Anyway, it's a shame we can't figure out who penned this book. The author is the same person who wrote the letters I found while investigating the Baron's murder. The ones in the fine book hand? Brother Adak told me about them. Perhaps he knows something about this book. He's been here longer than any of us. Why would the person who wrote the letters have scribed a book in our library? Well, that's the question. Whoever did it is the thread puller. Huh? Someone who's manipulating people at Kirsau and Tassing, pulling at threads to provoke someone into killing the Baron. I thought one of the brothers killed the Baron. He did. Well, I sure hope he did. I'll just say that. But the Baron was lured to the chapter house by someone who knew Kirsau and Tassing's secrets. Well, I'm afraid we can't be of any more help to you in determining the book's provenance. However, it's not in our catalog and it's already damaged. I doubt Father Abbot would mind if you kept it. That is how it works, by the way. If you go into a store and they don't have like a box of candy in their inventory, you can just take it and it's fine. Excellent, thank you. I'm glad someone bothered to save it from the flames. Okay, I was hoping to connect with Brother Adok. Eat with the Druckers. So he is not saying that he needs to find somebody to eat with. I guess it's just go eat with the Druckers. And hello to Moo, who says that they have ice in the freezer, but the stairs are hard. Okay, she doesn't have anything new to say. And I'm going to assume that with the new time period, Brother Adok has probably moved elsewhere. Yeah. Well, we'll look around. Maybe he's in the chapter house. Or the dormitories. He might be resting. Also, we haven't connected with Matthew at all. There's the crypt. There's the tower. We've never been up to the tower. And with good cause, because this is where you go to get death. We'll just walk away from here before they ring any more bells to announce more dead bodies or the start of supper. This is just where we were, right? This is just another path, yeah, to this room. Okay, refectory. Oh, hey Lucas, have we ever met? God bless you, Master Mahler. Oh, here he is. But we were not allowed to ask him about the book right now. Okay, we're getting a lot of not right now. At least they're allowed to talk now during the meal. When the brothers eat their meals, this is where the lector reads to them. Okay, we will need to stop by later, is what all of this means. Have we ever been to the kitchen and cellar? Okay, the echoey footsteps is really ringing in my ears. Also, Grumpy is not only revealing that he is an ice snob, but says also so is Moo. That's right, they will only accept ice that is presented in the shape of glassy, smooth, glassy hearts. None of those cubes. Oh, or better yet, like frozen in the shape of like a decorative soap where it looks like a flower. Okay, I gotta get out of here. We're gonna go have dinner with the Druckers. He's just gonna say, God bless you, yes? No. Andreas? Brother Guy, what are you doing here? Father Gernot has asked me to inform the townsfolk that the shrine is closed. With everything that's going on, whatever for. Father Abbot has ordered that we bring the hand into the church. Oh, that's right. They've got like a mummified hand or something. It's like the hand of a saint. The pilgrims are still welcome to come in and visit the relic, but it's off limits to the townsfolk. What? Why? The abbot has had enough of the peasants and townsfolk rebelling against the abbey. He is their rightful lord. The abbot has been More than generous, but he will not let this 12 articles drivel pass. The abbot refuses to leave the relic at risk of destruction. The hand of St. Moritz is the only thing keeping the abbey open. I like this. So it's about money, or he's punishing the town further. He's clearly punishing the town further. I don't know why we're phrasing that as a question. So instead, we're going to get to the heart of it. Tassing relies on St. Moritz just as much as the abbey. What about the faith of the townsfolk? Then they can stop engaging in such heretical and sinful behavior. The abbot is trying to protect the relic, nothing more. I am very tempted to say this. However, if we say this, it's just going to get back to him. And frankly, Guy is probably going to say, like, that we said some nasty stuff anyway. But I somehow doubt that that's the only thing on his mind. This is what it is. He is a cruel man, and you're no better. See, the thing is, I'm not actually 100% sure that he is cruel. It is possible that he's been raising money and doing all of these things because he has somebody above him that's, like, keeping a boot on his neck. But I don't know that, so I'm just going to go with somehow I doubt that it's the only thing on his mind. Will you question the abbot now too, Andreas Muller? Have you forgotten that you are a guest here in Tassing? No, Guy, you remind me every third word. And I don't know if he does pray. I'm going to say this is ridiculous and cruel, even for the abbot. I will do my duty as my vows and my lord command me, Andreas. God bless you. Okay, shrine is closed. We cannot go visit the hand anymore. Also, Grumpy is saying that, in fact, it is pebble ice. It instantly cools drinks. God bless you, Andreas. Welcome back to Kirsau. Thank you for Sister Gertrude. All of Tassing seems to know that I'm here. Ha-ha! You're a big man in a small town, Andreas. Word travels fast. Besides, Mausfanger tells me everything that goes on in Kirsau. That's the cat, isn't it? Who's Mausfanger? Our convent cat, and an excellent rat catcher. And an excellent gossip too, it seems. Ha! Don't ruin my fun, Andreas. I thought we were playing along with the fun. Until later, sister. Bless you, Andreas. Bless you, Caspar. Yes, here's Mausfanger. Scrub, scrub, scrub till the water's brown. Caspar is not allowed to pet. He needs to earn his apprenticeship first. Okay, and then we'll poke our heads in here, but I don't feel like there's going to be very much. Hello to Mr. Asylum X. I hope that you are having a wonderful Sunday. That and its juices are especially good for hangovers. Mr. Asylum, this is we've never met this person before. Or maybe I have, because the name is familiar. God bless you, Master Muller. God bless you, Sister Lisbeth? Is working for Mother Illuminata very different from working for Mother Cecilia? My duties remain the same, regardless of who the prioress is. Yeah, you were very devoted to the prioress, sister. Surely you've noticed some changes. Mother Illuminata prefers a warmer room. I maintain the hearth in her room throughout the night. Oh, God. Can you imagine having to wake up every, hour or whatever to just tend the fire? That seems like a lot of work. May it bring glory to God. I must return to my duties. God bless you, Master Muller. And you, sister. It's interesting the characters that don't acknowledge Caspar, because I don't think that's I think that's a writing choice. I don't think it's an oversight. I think that some of the characters, I think that we learn something about, like, their quality of character by which ones deign to speak to the apprentice boy. Oh, and Moo is saying that it's like the ice that you get at movie theaters or diners. When I was growing up, my parents had an ice shredder. I feel like we've already pet Schlau, but it's a new day. And hello to Azaric. Azaric, it's going okay. We've still got a few hours left of the weekend, so that is how it's going. I was noting earlier that I do feel like this is going to be... The next 2 weeks are going to be especially busy with stuff at work, and it really is just sort of like a couple major projects are touching off. So if that threatens to disrupt the schedule, we'll find some way to get the word out. I don't feel like I've ever been inside here. This has always been closed off to us. A painting of the Virgin Mary. What does the labyrinth symbolize? I guess I only get to wonder that aloud and not act on it. Grumpy is saying, Moo likes Azaric better than him. Although I doubt that that is true, I feel like a lot of people like Azaric and are very happy when he's here. We've already talked to all these people. So yeah, let's just go to the Druckers. Which is apparently northwesty. We've never seen Sepp before. We have talked to Otto some.
Andreas!
So Otto, sign from God? Oh right, we were gonna follow up on this.
Oh right. I found something just a few days ago. This will sound crazy, but I found St. Moritz's head.
He's really gotta stop leaving all of his parts around. I feel like this is the right response. Are you sure?
Shh. Yes, I'm sure. All right, I can't say anything more until St. John's Day. Then everyone will know.
Who else knows about this? I'm inclined to promise not to say a word, but it is worth knowing who else knows the secret.
Only those that need to know. And you, of course. Feel lucky?
Absolutely.
Good. Until later, Andreas.
As we're saying, the flies over the barrel concern him. Yeah, I suspect that there's a lot of flies around at this time. Is this... Oh, I was going to say, is that Paul? Okay, you never know who's going to chat with you. Okay, where am I in relation to where I want to be? Oh, somehow completely in the wrong direction. So here's what we'll do. We're gonna take the loop up here. And now we'll just go all the way until we find the right house. Okay, what the hell? Oh, no, we're still going this way. Okay. And hello to Fox McCloud. Grumpy is saying to Moo, you keep using that word. I do not think that it means what you think it means. Wait, what did Moo say? Oh, Moo was saying, I don't like you, Grumpy. I love you. See, you can't trump that. Oh, let's give her the book. Except we can't.
You're back. Good. We're almost ready to sit down and eat. Would you and Caspar care to join us?
Of course. Thank you, Klaus.
Welcome back, Andreas. Caspar. Andreas, these are my friends, Benjamin and Rachel Sommerfeld. They're on their way back to Prague. I assume is
Imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire. The city's mint made it a hub for German and Italian bankers and merchants, and its university became a gathering place for many Reformation thinkers.
Good day.
Hello, excuse me for not getting up. It's a bit difficult. Of course, I understand. It's nice to meet you both. Hello. Hello. That sounded like a real word, Klaus.
She's learning more of them every day. She'll be reading before long.
That's a wonderful segue to the gift that I've brought her.
Oh?
We're going to give it to her right now. We've missed several birthdays. We're not going to hold this back now. It's a book from the Abbey Library.
Is this for her or for you?
Her, I swear. Albertus Magnus de Animalibus. Andreas. She's only 2 years old. Is this... Did I not get the right one with the pictures? You can read it until she's ready? Hopefully?
Thanks for this. It's a nice thought.
We should probably pray before we eat, assuming the Sommerfelds don't mind.
Not at all. We're accustomed to bearing gifts in church Christian homes.
Thank you for asking, Klaus.
All right, I'll lead the prayer then.
Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord, amen. Foxcott is noting the child speaks in the language of the gods, or the language of the devil. You never know, she could be speaking in tongues. Klaus, thank you again for letting us stay here. It's been such a long trip. Oh!
Is it time?
No, I'm fine, I think. I'm just sore everywhere. Oof! Anyway, we'd hoped to get home weeks ago, but the fighting has made it slow progress from Basel. Has the fighting come close? Close enough. If we can hear the drums or see the armies, it's too close for me.
Rachel being pregnant complicates things, of course.
Better to be covetous than full of regret.
It's lucky timing for me, though. Now I have 2 printers and a master artist at my dinner table.
True, it isn't all misfortune. Oh, because she's a printer, she changed her typeface. Daddy!
Oh, yes, thank you. And a future printer and baby printer to be. Tassie hasn't seen this many artists under one roof in a while.
I like complimenting the quality of his work. Like, we're not in good with this dude right now, so... Yeah, no, let's not actually this. It's amazing to see how far printing has come so quickly. Some of the engravings I've seen are incredible. And new techniques, new types, new styles are being developed every year. Benjamin is trying to create a more readable script for Yiddish.
We have typefaces for Hebrew, but it would be nice to have something separate for Yiddish.
How novel. Yes, it's still a developing typeface, and usually only used in Jewish women's books.
I'd like our writing to be more accessible, especially to those who only read Yiddish.
Accessibility is important.
Here, something like this. I'll be sure to send you some samples when I'm finished, Klaus.
Good, I'd like that. Ugh. Okay. Yes, I'm fine. Klaus, what are you working on? I need to get ready to sell to travelers as the pass is open, but lately I've been printing the 12 articles for the town. 12 articles? Thanks to Father Thomas, everyone in town can read at least well enough to make it through that sheet. It's got a lot of people talking, and a lot are coming over to Otto's way of thinking. So just to catch everybody up, this is like the peasants are sick of like the non-stop taxes and the seizure of their property and basically the growing wealth disparity. So the 12 articles are them, basically their manifesto of like, yo, cut it out.
Well, you heard him yourself, Andreas. What do you think is what's happening in Tassing?
The abbot's always been an ass. So I just want to pause. I want to note that I believe that the abbot, when we go up to the abbey, where's all the money going? He's not driving a solid gold Rolls Royce. When we go into his place, it hasn't changed in 7 years. It doesn't appear that he's like just sleeping on a dragon's hoard of gold or something like that. It's possible that he's just taking it and squirreling it away and planning for his own retirement, and one day he's just going to yeet out of there with all of his ill-gotten gains. But it seems as likely or more likely that all of the money that's going into the abbey is then going to his higher-up. So I'm not sure that he's the guy that's being an ass, and I do think that he might be in a difficult position. However, I'm going with what Andreas thinks, which is the abbot's always been an ass.
I remember you saved Otilia's house from his clutches. If you hadn't intervened, she would have lost everything.
Yeah, I went to go talk to her about it, and she was just like, good day, Andreas.
You're her favorite person, by the way. Saint Andreas the Merciful.
Yeah, she didn't tell me anything. She told me to break sticks. Really?
I swear it. Anyway, I was trying to say that things have been hard on the peasants for years. It's just gotten worse lately. If the abbey is in such a bad state, there must be somebody the abbot can appeal to for more money.
And that's the thing, like, we don't see that the abbey's been, like, fixed up. Like, sure, routine maintenance, but they've always had that. So why are the taxes having to go up? So the Duke of Bavaria is the title held jointly by two brothers, Louis X and William IV. Both are working to suppress the peasant revolts. And who's Otto? Sorry, that guy? He could, you know what? He could sit down with Otto and work something out if he chose to. He's living up there in his, like, abbey on the hill, safe from all of the floods, just taking all of this money, and he's not explaining anything. How does he not expect the peasants are going to be upset about it?
Otto's tried to reason with him. The abbot won't listen.
What, no rye? I'm going to start with the mushroom pottage.
We're sympathetic to what's happening here. We saw it all throughout Swabia. Peasants are suffering.
It's true, but I worry about what will happen in Tassing. Oh! I'm fine. Very soon, there's going to be a sixth person in this room. Peasants are no match for the soldiers of the Swabian League. A military group maintained by the free imperial cities of the Holy Roman Empire. Members included nobles, knights, and hired or retained mercenaries. Oh, we could have just had Caspar fill in. Caspar, check your glossary, damn it. What's the Swabian League? Oh, thank God I know. Now. Oh, but I get to flavor it. They rally for coin, not for cause. Yeah, I'm going to say this. I feel like Andreas is going to be a man of the people, at least as long as I'm in his head.
Right or wrong, they can crush them. We saw their handiwork. It was brutal.
If the peasants aren't careful, Tassing could draw the wrong sort of attention.
I know Otto and the peasants are taking a risk, but I believe Otto will keep things peaceful. Anyway, it's not the Swabian League that we have to worry about, but the soldiers of the Duke of Bavaria.
Bavaria.
The Prince Bishop has the church's authority, but the Duke's lands surround Tassing and Curacao.
Let's save the apple pie for last. I'm sorry for showing up yesterday without writing. You had every right to be angry. I wanted to apologize for never writing back. I was so caught up in work, you know how it is. I don't think that he does know how it is. He's also been caught up in work. He lost his wife. I'm sorry for never writing back what happened here in Task and Curacao. I just wanted to forget it. I'm sorry for what happened to your family, and I'm sorry I never wrote back. That feels almost too direct, though. I'm gonna go with this one. I don't know. I feel like it's better to tackle it directly than to leave it unsaid. I'm sorry for what happened to your family, and I'm sorry that I never wrote back. That's it. I'm sorry. Benjamin's like, hey, are you sure you're not giving birth? Like, this is getting awkward.
Nom 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 nom. Ah, blah.
I love how Kelly Wan does kids when he does an opsis on the Tom Chick podcast, the movie podcast. Ow! Oh, this is it! This is it!
Oh no, I was afraid of this. We can't travel now. This is all my fault. We should have left for Basel earlier.
I love you, Benjamin, but be quiet. I don't care. I need help.
Yes, we need a midwife. Is there one who would accept Rachel?
Yeah, they're not asking for Dr. Stoltz. As Marquack says, Marquack, thank you very much for the cheer. I turned to the 9-year-old sitting beside me. Yeah, a great example of that is, again, one of my favorites. It's the Justice League, the theatrical cut of Justice League that he did, when he recaps the very beginning when two kids are interviewing Superman, and he goes, one of the kids goes, la 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 la, hey Superman, and he's like, he's so petulant, like a little brat. His impersonation is so good. Let's go with the midwife. She knows what's up.
Could you get her? Could you get her?
Klaus?
Yes, I should get her.
Agnes has delivered every child in Tassing as long as I can remember. She would never turn any woman away.
Thank you, Klaus. You're a mensch.
Enough with the thanks. Get me the midwife! Yes.
Andreas, you're forgiven. Caspar, it was good to have you over, but you both have to leave.
Of course. Let's not be discourteous. Thanks. Good luck, Rachel. Thank you. I'll need it. As Fox says, I'm fine. Press X to doubt. So,
I'll go fetch Agnes. Thank you for joining us, Andreas. Oh,
go get the midwife!
I almost forgot.
You should go see the bonfire preparations in the town commons. Really? Could you write down some directions for us, Klaus? I'm not sure I can find it.
You missed them on your last visit.
Klaus!
I'm going.
Thank you, Klaus. We'll be going. Still having a chat. Take care. Okay, so the bonfire is going to be pretty much where we came from. Oh yeah, look at this. They've got a whole Wicker Man. Everyone seems to be working hard for the bonfire tonight. The commons look festive, decorated like this. Look at all the flowers, Master, and the bonfire is huge.
How's the fire coming along? These logs work out all right for you, Endris?
Everyone is saying that it's all great.
Good. All right, everyone. Remember, after the bonfire tonight, we celebrate as usual. We will all gather in the woods, and the women will collect herbs as tradition demands.
Otto. I forget this guy's voice. Otto.
The abbot has forbidden harvesting in the forest. Please, everyone, for everyone's sake, reconsider your actions. Thank you, Father, but the abbot's order goes against God's law. The forest belongs to all of us, as do all its game and fowl and fish. He cannot claim ownership over that which the Lord gave us to hold in common. No, I'm sorry, Father. We'll proceed as planned. Tassie has never let anything get in the way of our St. John's customs, as long as I can remember. We won't start now. And remember, tomorrow I will show you proof that as sure as the sun turns round the earth, God and our saints are with us. Good day, Andreas. Hello, Brother Moslav. You looked upset at Otto's announcement. Is everything all right? In other words, are you planning to snitch? Otto is becoming more aggressive in his defiance of the abbot. Father Gernot will not take this news well. Brother, have you heard the parable about snitches get stitches? Yeah, you know what? Who's telling, brother? Otto just announced his plan in the Commons, and Tassing is a small town. Of course the abbot will hear about it. Fair point. But why is Tene Abbot so angry about it? Didn't you just hear Father Thomas, Andreas? The abbot declared the woods off limits. Anyway, it's not for me to say. I'm sure the abbot will tell you more. He sent me with an invitation for you to dine with him tonight. I'm sure the father will want to discuss the situation over supper.
He's gonna have, like, the nicest spread. Well, that's my prediction anyway. If we get up there... Moo was saying you can't blame Klaus. She said she was fine after all. Yeah, that is true. I'm pretty sure that's... Take your time. I can wait. And also the parable of the snitch. No, I'll go. Of course I'll attend. Why not? We're gonna have one of those pigs with the apple in his mouth. That's the kind of spread this is gonna be. Does the invitation extend to Caspar as well?
I'm sorry, Andreas, but Father Abbot has asked you to come to his house alone.
Phew. Please tell the abbot I'll see him this evening. Well, I guess I'll see what the fuss is about. I'll meet you back at the Golden Hand after dinner, alright? Can I help set up HT Festival decorations while you're with the abbot? Yes, but be back before sundown, alright? Thank you. Yes, thank you, Master. I'll see you later. Guess it's time to eat. Master Andreas, you'd best not keep the abbot waiting. Go on, we'll meet up after supper. Okay, don't get into trouble. ... Look at this whole affair happening here with the dance. The bonfire is much simpler than the one in Nuremberg, but it's all pretty much the same. Apparently I can go in here. And he's not wrong, Brother Woslav. Like, Otto is not making it any sort of secret what he's doing. Anyone could tell the abbot. So, like, the information's going to come from somewhere. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be from Brother Woslav. Nope, that's the mill. You'd think I'd know my way around here a little bit by now. Oh, Grumpy, thank you very much for the cheer! Oh, sorry. I need to go over here. Yeah, no, thanks both to you and Marquack, seriously. I need to go to Large Garden. Through the refectory, maybe. Or through just whatever this is. Alright, now we can go down here, and Abbot's house. Sup?
God bless you, Andreas. I'm glad to see you received my invitation. Are you ready to eat? Yes. Good. Yep, look at that. Full turkey. Andreas, thank you for coming to dinner. I don't want to be ungracious. Let's, especially since we're in order, I don't like this dude, and he doesn't like me, and normally I really recoil from, like, false politeness, like hollow pleasantries, but Andreas is he's the order background, so even though this doesn't have the symbol, it's like, we got invited to dinner. Let's not come in and immediately start acting like an asshole. Grumpy is saying, I'm better than Moo, clearly, but then also, what's the Mia option? Wait, Grumpy, what would the Mia option be here? Between these two? Something with a lot more four-letter words? I was surprised to receive your invitation, Father, but I'm pleased to come. Yes, well, when I heard you had returned to Tassing, the Lord convicted my heart to let bygones be bygones. Convicted my heart. That's a weird... anyway. I think it's high time we reconciled, Master Muller. Please, sit, and we will pray together. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts for which we are about to receive from your bounty. Lord, direct each of us here towards your wisdom, prudence, and your guidance in our future actions. Through Christ our Lord, amen. Amen. Brother Woslav was indeed prompt in delivering my message. I'm surprised you deigned drop by at all. You have done quite well for yourself, after all. It is good to see that your time at Kirsau was not squandered. You even look the part of a famous artist now. What have you been doing in recent years after leaving such a mess in Tassing? Just with the backhanded slaps all over the place. Boo is saying, wait until dessert to act like an asshole. And then Grumpy's saying, wait, is that directed at me or the game? So, I usually like doing the things that speak to our background, but let's look through. The city council did approve me as master artist in Nuremberg. I have a commission of Mary and Christ waiting for me in Nuremberg, but my patron wants me to keep adding more of his associates in. I'm dreading going back to it. What do you care about my success? Or, I traveled to Aragon to study the new art and oil techniques there. The journey took me far longer than I expected, though. I like this because it's kind of vague. I don't feel like it gives a lot of information about what he's up to now. Yes. I've heard the Inquisition has had a difficult time with the many Jews and Muslims fleeing the country. Oh, I wouldn't know. I've been traveling far and wide, enjoying all the unusual delights Europe has to offer. Again, it's wonderfully vague. I won't ask what sort of delights you mean, Andreas. They're probably not fit for supper, much less Kirsau. You asked about my travels, Father, not me. Why have you really asked me here, anyway? In truth, I had hoped to discuss the rising tensions between the Abbey and townspeople. I'd like to clarify the situation for you, Andreas. If he had, like, a snarky expression on his face, I'd feel more comfortable doing this. I know that I'm reading him as sinister, but... just, you know, please proceed, Governor. What is it that you have to say? I am relieved to hear it. I believe you've only heard from one sidew of the issue, Andreas. Otto's little speeches about taxes don't account for the entire situation. Why demand such high taxes then, Father? Oh, I can't eat that wonderful raspberry pie over there. Oh, pheasant, shall we? Yeah, pheasant. With the scriptorium closure, the taxes are necessary to make up for the lost income.
surely there's another option. Like, I feel like this is what I feel. His financial problems don't mean that everybody else should have to suffer. This is what's annoying to me when a company goes through hard times and then, or sorry, not even hard times. In the real world, in the United States of America, a company will make less profit than they did the year before, the quarter before. They don't, not a loss, they make a lower amount of profits than they did. So then a lot of workers get laid off, there's cost savings, and then all the people at the top pay themselves huge bonuses. I know that that's not exactly what's happening here, but it's difficult for me to look at a situation like this and not see it with 21st century eyes. So surely there's another option. Do you really need to raise taxes that much? This is how I feel, but this is what Andreas is going to say. Yeah, and Salamander has it even more specifically. Sometimes not even a lower amount of profit. Sometimes not enough of an increase in profit. It really bothers me to see those.
Brother Guy has gone over the Abbey's expenses carefully, Andreas. Raising taxes is the best way to cover these costs.
So now we know that Brother Guy, who is an avowed shithead, is the one who's pushing for this. But what about prohibiting the peasants from using the forest? That's a new restriction. Excuse me while I have some... I don't know what Lebkuchen is, but I want to save the plum pudding. We'll have that last.
The forest belongs to the Abbey, and the peasants have no right to use it. Legally, it's theft.
True, Swabian Bavarian law allow you to control the land as you wish, but the peasants are saying these restrictions go against God's divine law, not any imperial rule, Father.
God in his wisdom established the church as with his law, and they would do well to remember that.
But doesn't God's law account for graciousness and charity? God's law is defined by whatever I find convenient, actually.
The peasants have exhausted my graciousness and charity for too long already, and have little regard for the church's authority itself. The monastery and church exist to help stop such foolishness, and to help regulate mankind's sin and greed.
I'm just noting the amount of food. If anybody wasn't here in the last episode, we had dinner with, I thought it was Klaus and family, but maybe it was somebody else. They didn't have enough bread to go around, so only Andreas and Kaspar got to have bread, and everybody else had to go hungry. Also, Fox McCloud is saying the Lebkuchen, also called Pfefferkuchen, is a German gingerbread. Oh, so it's another dessert. These cookies are either rectangular or round. They have a sweet, lightly nutty taste, and their aroma is spicy, a bit like nutmeg and allspice. They are usually soft with a slight crunch from chopped nuts. The Lebkuchen is a traditional Christmas cookie, which is often enjoyed with a cup of tea or coffee. There are many regional variants to the Lebkuchen, which I'm so sorry that I'm almost certainly saying it wrong. I apologize. But the most well-known is the Nürnberger Lebkuchen from the... And then it cuts off. So it's a cookie. We're having cookies. The other people can't afford bread. We're sitting up here having cookies. From the city of Nuremberg, says Fox.
The peasants and the townfolks have gone too far. I hear they will continue their disobedience by collecting herbs on St. John's Eve. The whole town knows I've forbidden it. The matter is grave, and I will excommunicate anyone who defies my order.
You would condemn the Tuan over something so petty? It is insane, but sometimes I like remaining silent to just let somebody go ahead. Oh, I thought he would go ahead. I'm gonna stuff my face with plum pudding.
Remaining impartial will be impossible as long as you're in town. Support me in ending this foolish rebellion.
I will not.
You have a reputation in town, Andreas. You're a successful man. and the townsfolk believe they are like you. I'd like you to convince the other townsfolk, the printer for example, that this uprising is not in their best interests. The rest of the town will follow, and the peasants will have no chance to resist. We can end this peacefully. I don't understand his point of view. I will counsel him to talk with them and negotiate. It's not because I'm neutral on it. It's because he can call in and mobilize armed and armored troops that can cut through these peasants like they are made of wheat. So I don't think that precipitating an armed conflict is a great idea. Oh, and Fox McCloud is saying sorry. No worries, Fox McCloud. And hello to Takarosh. Takarosh, I saw the news in Mia's stream earlier. All I can say is that hopefully we can provide some good distraction and maybe having something on in the background. But I just wanted to express aloud I'm sorry, and we'll continue on with the game such that we can. But it's good to see you here. You're very welcome. No, we're not saying that. I won't help you. No, talk to them. Talk to them. Work something out, because here's the other thing. If a bunch of peasants are butchered for going in to get herbs out of the woods that are just sitting there and waiting to be picked, then that's even less money that can be paid. It's a lose-lose. Don't do this. Talk to the peasants and come up with a deal. I am a forgiving man, but Otto's stubbornness has challenged even me. Otto is past the point of talking, Andreas. That's why I'm begging you to help in this matter. Please, take more time to think about it. I apologize, we must conclude for now. I must excuse myself. I am expected to lead a service at Compline tonight. Think on what we've discussed, Andreas. I trust you can find your way out. I will, Father Abbot. Good night. So Takaroshi is sending the sharing the news in here. Says that he's very tired but unable to sleep. Yeah. Again, hug to Takaroshi. Others could do that as well if they chose. The best I can do, unfortunately, is try to provide some distraction. I would like to have the words to talk people through challenging times, but as somebody who, my training is in, Twitch streaming. I don't have that background of being a grief counselor. I can say from one person to another that I've also lost a grandmother in recent years. It's very sad, and I can empathize with the loss, but I run the risk of moving outside my lane if I try to provide any sort of counseling here. So I want to, say, stay strong, best wishes to you and your family. And I just hope, again, that we can provide some measure of comfort in the distraction of a video game murder mystery. Might help lull you off to sleep, hopefully pretty soon. And maybe on to a more restful evening. Okay, what am I off to? Am I going to the herb gathering? No, it looks like that's done, so we're gonna go to the bonfire. Unless we see somebody to talk to between here and there. We'll go through the forest. You never know. What's all this, then? With Father Gurnet's new restrictions, the townsfolk can't even gather sticks without a fee. Just the very idea that the forest should be off limits for the purposes of collecting loose firewood or herbs or something like that. I've never been to Smokey's home, ever. I've never talked with this man. Oh, hello, Master Mahler. You're looking well. I'm sorry, have we met? I love it. I love the fact that the game is acknowledging the fact that we've never spoken to this guy. We met once before on your first visit. You were drawing something by the waterfall. I'm Smokey. Well, Adam, but people call me Smokey.
I guess this is before the start of the game, which is fine. Right, Smokey, yes.
Ah, good. So is there anything I can do for you?
I didn't see you in the town commons during Otto's speech. Aren't you standing with the peasants?
Well, their cause doesn't really affect me, does it? I'm as worried as anyone about soldiers rushing through here, but the new taxes and restrictions don't bother me. I understand why they're upset, but I've been doing fine out here with less than they have. Nothing will change for me if they get their way.
You could still support them. You could still support people in need. I understand that he's risking a lot. He's not like liking a tweet, right? He's literally putting his life on the line for something that he doesn't perceive as helpful to him.
I don't want to get involved. I'm fine as I am. Supporting them would be the proper Christian thing to do, I guess. But when have any of them done the Christian thing for me?
The Christian way is to help without expecting anything in return. It's the giving that counts.
Easy for men of means to be benevolent. All I want is fairness, decency. I've given them my work for years, but they refuse to treat me right. They mock me from my... I can't wait to find out what that word is. Blind faith, since I have to keep a constant eye on the kiln for days on end. Can't go to church as often. They laugh at the way I stink. I can't help that, you know.
I don't really like lecturing this guy on how he should treat the peasants better when I've never done anything to the peasants to say that they should treat him better. But an uprising like this, a movement is only going to function if everybody... You need everybody. It can't be half-hearted. It can't be some of the people. Grumpy saying, yes, Angel is so boring he'll put you right to sleep. If that is the service that I provide, I am pleased to do it. Seriously.
I'm not sure I have it in me. Oh, well, enough of that. Thanks for stopping by, Master Mauler,
for the big lecture. Until later, Smokey.
Until then.
So Takarosh is saying... of his grandmother, at least one world war up close, the Nazis did occupy my country during World War II. I should have stopped up and said hello to Smokey a lot earlier. I guess I just assumed that at some point the game was going to draw, provide a reason to go there. I think I took the wrong path. Hello, Master Mauler. Evening, Till. Enjoying the festival? Very much so. I feel perhaps a tad too old for the more active side of the celebrations, but I enjoy the sights and sounds. Did you know the word for the summer solstice leads back to the Romans? I may have heard that, yes. Solstitium. The sun staying still in the sky, such as it looks at this time of year. A fitting allegory for the great cosmic arc of mankind, rise and fall. But to make up for that, advancing? Dancing, leaping, songs, joy and mirth. People do seem elated, although I don't think the same applies to Abbot Gurnet. Otto's courting danger, I agree. Going against the decrees of the abbey like so. The festival has always had a zealous streak of jest and mockery. I don't see it as sacred as some. I'm gonna ask what we're mocking. The fools of the community? Hold on, I need that to be
Yeah, the fools of the community, most like. The vices folks get up to, especially those important to us peasants. More important than us peasants. Overall, I think it brings people together. I wish I could head here, read more about all this. Well, with the Abbey selling books in their library, I hoped I could get some for myself, but it proved to be far too expensive. Klaus and his paintings have proven to be of more use, and a fair bit cheaper. Does this mean you've read the 12 articles? I have. But that is not a talk to be had on this eve of celebration, Master Mahler. Okay, have you come across any interesting tales? I have indeed, Master Mahler. Or, I didn't quite understand everything. The text was in Latin. It was by a Roman named Strabo. And it was about geography. That's why I noticed it. I don't believe I've had the chance to read anything by him. It was a fairly complicated read, I must admit. The book was about many kinds of barbarians, which also include the Reti tribe I read about years ago. The people who used to live on this very land before the Romans arrived. He called this place Ratium, and described it as a cluster of... I have no idea what that word is. What hubs? Daub hubs? Job hubs? A cluster of something huts, and its people hostile and warlike, and only interested in hunting and fighting. Does anybody know that word? Daub hubs? Daub. I don't think so that's why I'm not familiar with that word. It's made of mud, then, is it? Daub means wicker clad in mud. Okay, apparently every single person in chat knows that word. I've never encountered it before. As in wattle and daub, says Samalander. It's a mixture of clay, mud, poo, and straw. This sort of thing is why I love playing games on stream with people, because like this is apparently a known thing. I never encountered this, and whether or not I'll know this in a week, at least I'm learning it right now, and that's how you pick up information. There was something about Manus and his sons, but I couldn't understand a lot of it. In any case, when the Romans came, most of these locals were driven out, but some were captured to work in the fields and the mines. Sure, what were they mining? Well, no, I'm more interested in the people, and I think that Andreas is too. No idea. I would imagine that after the Romans were driven off, when their empire started falling apart, maybe the barbarians came back. But were they really the same people, or nomads from elsewhere? I guess we may never know. Thank you for the quick history. I'll get back to the festivities. Enjoy yourself tonight, Master Mahler. Until later. Good evening, Andreas. Nice to see you here. Grandpa, look who it is.
Oh, the artist. He's still around?
I thought to stay and enjoy the festivities. Also, is that... No, that's just a regular person. That's the opposite of stilts. He just has his... I'm just looking at the background, sorry.
You call this a festival? You haven't seen nothing yet.
You're not going to tell the story again, are you?
You kids need to learn it by heart, else Perkin will run you down.
Ah, this is about the wild hunt.
Yes, it draws near. Cough. Heed my warning.
Grandpa, you're getting agitated again. It's not good for your health.
Nonsense! I can outlive any bastard out there. So, where was I?
The wild hunt?
Yes! Did you bring your mask?
I didn't realize we were supposed to bring one.
The fools I have to suffer. The mask's gonna protect us as we banish the witches and spirits into Perkta's path. She punishes all humans she finds in the woods on St. John's Eve, since only witches are out in the wilderness. Anyone caught will be turned into animals. No one but a priest can then turn you back.
I guess I can imagine a worse punishment.
You joke, artist, but you won't be laughing when Perkta finds you. Stay indoors tonight. If you want to come outside, stay within the light of St. John's fire. At least St. Satya blesses the herbs in the forest this night. And the women will gather the herbs, regardless of that bastard abbot.
It's certainly important to stockpile some for the winter. Thank you for teaching me more about local traditions.
Nah.
Cough.
Hey, Big York! You grab some of the ashes with you after the bonfires died down.
Fine. What are the ashes for?
It's to spread across the garden. Ensures a good harvest. Figures you city people don't know shit.
Don't be like that, Grandpa. Now that story time is over, how are you enjoying the evening so far, Andreas? I've spoken to a few other people here. It's very enlightening. Grumpy's saying all those R's look like Z's, which is hard to read. Also, I'm sorry, I think it was Taco who said that the dog is very stable. Taco says this is not too far off from his own handwriting. Then you have amazing handwriting. Like, there's none of the script in here is nearly as bad and unreadable as my handwriting. And I've tried for years to have better handwriting. It really bothers me that I can't master like a better script. It's the best time to spend time with your friends. Have you heard anything interesting?
Ah, gossip. You two are like Tat Burner in the forest. Smokey, that's the one.
I want to say this is like the first time that Smokey's even been mentioned.
Always nosy about other people.
I'm not sure that talking about having dinner with the abbot is going to go over well in this crowd. It has been fun to hear what the people think about St. John's Eve. Maybe you'll get a few dances as well, Andreas?
But hey, given how many gorgeous women live this town, I can't miss out on the chance. Wink.
And you're the kind who'll dance with them, Andreas. All of them. As long as you don't get caught by the husbands, they won't take kindly to that. Ha-ha. Well, I shouldn't keep you waiting for the night celebration. Until later. Okay, I can't actually talk to Big York myself. Andreas.
Salutations, Andreas. Most wonderful to see you here.
I see you two have met. What do you want with an inventor?
I make all manner of
Oh, wait, who said that?
I make all manner of mechanical contraptions filled with gears and levers and other such delights. Andreas here is a man of the mind. Why shouldn't he find interest in my work?
For all the use it is.
The mind of an inventor exists to create, to build, to go one step further.
One step toward the garbage heap. Let me just, ignore Werner. Who gives a shit about this guy? A very inspiring thought, Baltus. Let's just not even pay attention to this guy. Fox McCloud says that he has terrible handwriting and just kind of give up. Yeah, I just do my best. And Takaro is saying ashes are good garden fertilizer. Yeah, that's one of the things, ashes are, in general, just loaded with things that help plants grow. I mean, it depends on what burned. You don't want to put in, dripping melted plastic. But, yeah, burned wood, burned plant matter grinds up real good and helps out the next generation.
Why, I thank you, Master Artist. Speaking of, have you had the chance to look around town tonight? I imagine the sights could also be inspiring to your artistic mind.
Tasking certainly looks cheerful with the decorations and bonfire.
Indeed. Look at their peasant ingenuity. Consider the bonfire itself. It is built to allow air and the heat to flow through it at great speed. And how it roars.
a clever piece of construction, but Otto's a clever man. It is a feat almost worthy of a university degree. These people have natural traditions. They've managed to figure out many clever things without even the most cursory education. It is knowledge that hails from preceding generations, lived experience passed along the chain of time. Not quite the knowledge of a rigorously educated mind, perhaps, but nonetheless useful. Yeah, you don't need a university. You need a university education to be educated. Well, and you need an education to be educated is what I mean. You don't need an education to be smart. Of course, you would say that. Neither of you know these people like I do. God has assigned them their place in the order of the world for good reason. Why are you even here then? Why don't you go sit in your house and just contemplate how awesome you are? There is some merit in learning from the peasants, even you, Werner, given their understanding of herbal remedies. Their traditions are profane. Consider the Eve of St. John, tainted by their pagan rituals. It's an affront to Christ. Unless that gets corrected, I do not know how to say this. Eligius? Patron saint of goldsmiths, bishop of Noyon Tournai, worked tirelessly to convert the pagans of Flanders to Christianity. Warned against precisely this nearly 1,000 years ago. Yeah, where'd all this piety come from? Don't pretend to know anything about me. I've been on pilgrimage to the Aachen. I have visited the Marian shrine, stood in the presence of those holy relics. To be in the presence of St. John the Baptist's beheading cloth was an experience I will never forget. Also, Takarosh is saying the Vikings washed their hands and faces every day. They bathed once a week. They combed their hair and beards every day. They had grooming kits with tweezers and ear picks, etc. They washed their hair and beards with soap and braided and decorated their hair and beards with ribbons and beads and other things, and they used perfume. Oh, so I don't think that Mia would like the perfume part at all. Ladies found them attractive, and men were jealous of their ways with the ladies. Actually, I've seen the reliquary. Is that reliquary or reliquary? I've never heard the word said aloud. But yeah, I've seen it multiple times, actually. It seems to have done you little good. Perhaps you should visit again. Now, let's keep the peace in our hearts as the brothers in Christ. We're here to celebrate. Well, I'll let you continue with your evening then. Good night. A very good night. Oh, and do come by my workshop, Master Muller. I would love to exchange ideas. It would be my pleasure. Splendid. Until then, Muller. Like seriously though, why are you here, Werner? Like, if everybody's a huge loser and like they're all pagans and whatever, why don't you go home? You've got a place, so you don't have to be here. It's not against the law for you to just go be like by yourself. Master Andreas, look how big the bonfire is, and the decorations are so fancy. No, we're not seeing the second thing. The St. John's Eve Festival is a big event for Tassing. I missed it last time I was here. Haven't you ever been to a festival like this, Caspar? No, I've never seen anything like this. Can I stay at the bonfire and see the costumes and watch Thew collect herbs, Master Muller, please? I'm gonna say yes, but follow along and don't get in their way. I'm too tired for the festival. I think I'll just turn in for the night. Oh, is this a bad idea? So if we were both going, then he could come. I don't feel comfortable that Andreas is going to go to bed and he's not going to be with the kid that he's responsible for. Caspar isn't just a tag-along. He didn't just, like, attach himself to Andreas. Andreas, like, this is a social contract. Andreas is supposed to teach him and care for him. And
if Andreas has reason to believe that there's going to be trouble in the woods, which he very much does, it is not responsible for him to, like, let this kid go off there by himself. I don't want to turn in. Oh, alright, fine. I'm completely running out of voices. Is that... No, that's not Paul. Evening, Andreas. Say, how do you like the bonfire? We built it nice this year. Big and sturdy. Maybe that is Paul. I don't remember the miller's name. It's a fine setup, Carl. Excellent work. I don't think this is the miller, though. I know we can't compare to where you come from, but we still give it our all in celebration for the light who prepared our way for the Lord. Anton, you remember Andreas Moller, the master artist? Yeah, I've seen him around town. Son, be polite. Hello, Mr. Moller. How are you? I am well, thank you, young man. Anton's a good boy, let me tell you. A bit of a rascal, as you can see, but he's got a good head and a good heart. He likes to hide it, though. Dad, will you stop? Aha! Easy to rile you up, just like your mother. How is Helena? Is she not attending the bonfire? I'm certain that I met these people 7 years ago. I just really don't remember them. Yeah. She'll join us later. She went with Martha to dip their toes into the stream and to pick some flowers for the garlands and wreaths. Oh, I wonder if we can check in on the baby. Or the pregnancy, the birthing. It's important to hold traditions. You're right, especially with the times we're having. Besides, maybe Martha and Helena will come across the blossoms of a fern out there. Ha! What's so funny about that? Ferns don't flower. That means no power to speak with the animals for you, boy. Yes, I've played that game before. In the forest with a maiden seeking the fern that flowers. Why not? Andreas, you can't, but please don't insinuate such things in front of me, boy. I was wondering if that would be like a problem. But the other thing was like a pagan thing, and I'm worried that might be worse. Like, wait, that's too pagan even for us, Andreas. Also, Moo's going, crikey. Hey, I'm old enough to get what that means. Will I be going into the woods with a girl soon? You know, Anton, it's right the time to be nor the company to talk about that. Let's just enjoy the celebrations. Speaking of, what do you think of the festival so far, Anton? It's fine, I guess. I like the fires, but when they're lit, the mountains get to twinkle like the stars. I don't like it when people get drunk and rowdy as the night goes on. They get into fights and all. Let's not tell them that fighting is awesome. Anyone in particular? Well, not as much lately, but Martin used to get in trouble. Anton's got a good eye. Martin's been a good solid fellow once he camoed back, but he sometimes drinks too much. He's calmed down lately. You know, he used to be kind of a shit. And I was about to make a joke, but no, he really is a better dude now. Language, boy. God doesn't look kindly on blaspheming. But those are your words, Dad. Best you don't quote me. Quote the scripture instead. It's better for your soul. You listen to your father, Anton. I will. I do. Jesus! Hey, what did I just say? Don't let your mother catch you with that mouth. Ha ha ha! Well, I'll let you get back to the festivities now. It was a pleasure. Until later, Andreas. Bye! Okay, I feel like that's... Well, we can look at the fire. The bonfire is... Oh, we already saw that. Why, Martin, look who it is. Good evening, Andreas. Andreas, you're staying for the festival, I hope. Of course he's staying. Who would miss this? Especially after you burly boys built such a beautiful bonfire.
A burly boy like me would do anything for you, Dove. Couldn't help myself.
Brigitte, Martin, you're both feeling festive, I see.
The food, the fires, the dancing, it really is a night to enjoy.
It is to honor the anniversary of the birth of the Blessed John, a vigil for he who prepared the way.
Yes, and he'd have liked everyone to have a good mood in their heart and good food in their bellies.
As a hermit who wandered the desert living off locusts and wild honey, he probably wouldn't agree. I think it was in Mia's stream today, like Jelly Buns and friends were talking about like the need to start adding insect life into like the American diet for the protein. I have no objections to that. It was just an interesting topic that came up. Also, why does that lady have to wear a basket on her head? She can't even see through that. Or maybe she can. Maybe it's very loosely knit, woven.
I'd like to live off some of the wild honey myself, if you catch my meaning.
Who wouldn't? Now I can stop thinking about it. Andreas!
Ha! You're an ordinary man after all.
It's true. I have my vices. As long as you have God hold you on the path, and the eye fixed on your wife. Lust is a sin, after all.
Andreas has proved himself honest and honorable. Isn't that right? You saw it all those years ago, Brigitte.
I remember all that effort to save your friend, the Oid monk. You're not a sinful man, no. Thank you for the kind words. So are you gonna heed Otto's call and go into the forest?
No, I'm not really looking for trouble. There's enough of that going around.
Well, we did hear that he has a tendency to get into trouble with the drinking and the brawling. But also, but that was before. That's what the kid said. He's not doing that anymore. And you, Brigitte, not gathering any herbs. I don't wanna convince them to go do it if they don't want to, because again, I'm concerned about what might happen. My place is by my Martin's side. The word of the abbot is the word of the church. It's improper to go against the word of the church.
Only slightly less improper than all the time you spend with Veronica. Oh, Brigitte, I'm sorry. It was a joke. It came out poorly. It's good for the heart to have cherished friends.
It's fine. Andreas, I was about to say, the bonfire is enough. We will dance until our legs begin to waver. Right, Martin?
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
That's delightful. I hope you have a great evening.
You as well, Andreas.
Oh, that was... whatever. They're both wishing him a good night. Okay. So... Also, who is this, Ursula? I love the fact that she still has his hat. That is such an awesome detail. But that's it. We're gonna go to bed now, right? Hold on. Okay, where's, like, my journal? It says somewhere, doesn't it? What I'm supposed to do? Journal. Klaus had to hurry out of the house after Rachel went into labor. I should go to the comments. Let's go see if we can stop by Klaus's house again. Also, I can't go... Oh, yes, I can. Brother Woslav, over supper. Now that I find Caspar, we should turn in for the evening and let the locals enjoy their celebration. Okay, well, hold on. I do want to go see if we can check on Klaus's house. Oh, nope. This is it, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Okay. Let's go to sleep. The inn is always farther out than I think it is. Yeah, here it is. Okay, I suspect everybody's asleep, but I do like to look. You never know that, like not talking to Old Smokey, for example. 7 years ago. Like, who knows if that had, you know, he could have had an important clue. I probably should have, like, checked in with him. So I don't want to fail to have an important conversation. It's getting late. I should get some rest. Go to sleep. I'd love to have some more details about Andreas's home life. Oh. So how's everybody doing tonight? This might take a minute. There will be dialogue that's going to come up. Otherwise... Ah, here we go. What is it? Let's wait. So this is his wife, as far as I know. We've never, like, seen her outside of, like, a dream sequence, but he was betrothed in Act 1, and now he's gotten married, but we don't really know very much about, like... I don't think they have any kids or anything yet. Come home. I know? Oh, that he looked angry. I didn't mean that. You know what? You want me home. You've been asking for months. And for months you haven't answered. What am I to you? What am I to you now? An annoyance? A bother? A nuisance to be ignored while you lead another life in Barcelona? Was there ever an ounce of love in your heart for me? So since I don't know, I'm gonna write this the way that I want it to be, which is that, yes, I didn't know that that's what I know meant. I wasn't trying to, like, pick at her. I just thought it was like, I wanted to know more about it, and now I don't feel good about how that went. But no longer. Well, I'd rather say nothing than I hate talking to you when you're like this. Like, I know that this is a dream that he's having. This is not actually her. But it could be a memory that he's having. But what is her crime? Saying, come home? I miss my husband. He's been away for who knows how many years. And now she's saying, come home. I hate talking to you when you're like this. That's not a constructive way to frame any sort of disagreement. It puts all of the burden on her that she's being an unspecified way. Just like this. That sucks. Fine. Go back to your whores, the women who make you happy. This house is lonely without him. So lonely without him. Stop. Your presence would be Odie. Only? Only. Your presence would only amplify the grief. Stop! Leave me alone. Leave me alone with the memory of him. Stop! Just leave me alone, just for one night. One night where I don't have to dream about him. Who's him right now? Did they have a kid? Don't tell me in the chat, but the house is so lonely without him. She really misses him. One night where I don't have to dream about him. At first I thought that maybe she was referencing like her previous fiance, but did they say something in the previous episode that we did about like they had a kid that didn't make it? I don't think so. I feel like this is new information. I think they might have had a child that is no longer with them. Please. Thank you. Alright, we're gonna continue walking the streets. There's a lot we don't know about Andreas's life in the... Oh, I think we just
met him. Hello, August. I know you aren't going to say anything. You never say anything. Just because he's not going to say something doesn't mean that I can't. I'm so sorry that I couldn't do anything for you. I suppose there's not much one can do against the plague. He is so tired, though. Like, this is our information on what happened. Fox McCloud woke up and watched some amazing streams. Like, anything particular, Fox McCloud? I think I'm gonna say I'm so tired. Do you get tired where you are? The last time I saw you, I said goodnight to you. I couldn't come to the bed, so I stood in the doorway. I just stood in the dark. You didn't say anything back, so I said it again. I don't know how long I stood there, just waiting for you to say goodnight. You still look the same age as to me. I wonder if I'll ever forget your face. Do I remember your mother as she is? I'd rather say this, I think. I remember loving her. Oh, Fox McCloud, thank you very much. Fox McCloud was saying Mia and me. Fox McCloud, I really appreciate that. Those are very kind words. Can you ever picture somebody clearly if you love them? Can you ever picture someone clearly if you hate them? I think I'd rather say this. I loved you, little boy. I loved you so much. Sometimes I wish I could die so I wouldn't feel it anymore. Yeah, this is definitely new information about... Andreas has made a lot of... oblique mentions of being really miserable, but this is a lot more information about it. But I can't. So I retrace my steps every night, and I find my way back to her. Back to you. I love you, August. Good night. What happened to this place? Where's Prester John? And where's Socrates and St. Grobian? Grobian wasn't on the Ship of Fools. Oh, this isn't Beatrice, this is Melancholia. Won't you answer me? No thoughts for Beatrice? You are Beatrice, aren't you? Once, I was a voice of caution, of prudence. And now? More and less than caution. The ache of doubt that stiffens to paralysis. Paralysis that breeds despair. Melancholia. Well, let's start with what happened to you. What happens to you happens to us. The foundations of this city are still moored within the ocean of your mind. Its court does not rule your mind rules the court. Once reason, curiosity, and the foolishness of youth dwelt under the aegis of your intellect. I am all that remains, the melancholy of life's autumn. How did it come to this? I feel like It's Only June is like a literal, like, what month it is in the year, and she's talking about, like, the third quarter of your life. How did it come to this? You have turned your gaze to your own dark center. Also, the background sound just stopped very abruptly. You know the courses of your own life. You know how the choices you've made have brought you here. Also, what is she wearing on her back? Are we supposed to know? Anyway, what am I supposed to do about it now? Change your life. Wait, I shouldn't be here. I needed to help someone. Is Caspar still asleep? Ah, so your thoughts aren't entirely turned inwards. There's still something in you that cares for the others in spite of your melancholy. Perhaps there is still hope for us. Wake up, Andreas. Uh-oh, Caspar's not here. Shoot, I really didn't want any harm to come to this kid. Okay, the Conquistador's not here. Samuel. Was there any, like... well, we know where he would have gone. He would have gone to the forest. There's a lot of commotion tonight. It sounds like everyone's gone to the woods. Right, is that... yeah. Okay, they're fighting. I wasn't sure. I can't see out of this damn thing! The waterfall must... yeah, we've already seen that. Are you okay? Okay, apparently I can't help that wood nymph. Two innocents. Okay. Tassin's old salt mine, how the town made money before the Imperial Road opened up. Also called Via, and I'm not going to say this right, Imperii. The Imperial Road links Venice in the south with Stettin on the Baltic Sea in the north. It passes through Verona, Innsbruck, Nuremberg, and many other cities along the way. It also brings thousands of travelers to Tassin and Curacao every year.
Harmonious Crow is saying that that is based on the drawing Melancholia 1 or I, probably 1, by Albrecht Dürer. Oh, and Crow was saying those are her wings, but they're strapped and tied up. I love that people know stuff like this. Oh, and also, Takarosh was saying earlier... Oh, somebody wanted to grump. Was it Martin? Some people are not happy unless they can grouch at things. Maybe that was, Oh, Harmonious Crow is an art history nerd. So, Crow, what, like, on the whole, and I don't know if you've seen any previous episode, what is your take on the art style of this? I mean, they worked very hard to evoke a very specific period in our history. But you are actually familiar with this. Let's go visit Smokey's home. Nope, just a lot of smoke. No Caspar. And Foxcloud did mythology for 3 years. Okay, seems kind of weird that there's a big ruckus down at the... Well, then again, the fact that there's a ruckus here doesn't mean that this is necessarily where... Paul would have gone. What? Not Paul, Caspar. Okay, we could also check in town, because he wanted to go to the big party. Crow says it's like straight out of the period for sure, 15th or 16th century. The game is set in the 16th century. We're in the 1500s. Which I assume is when this sort of art style would have been, you know, prevalent at least. So we found somebody that we can talk to. Hello, Andreas. Enjoying the bonfire. Your costume looks just like a fancy night dress.
I'm looking for Caspar, which, by the way, we've never actually just looked at his picture. Have you seen him? No, I haven't seen the boy tonight. A group of townspeople went into the forest to collect herbs, though. You might see if he wandered off with them. Enjoy the festival while you're at it, Andreas. We're showing the abbot what for. Okay, so maybe now we go back to the forest? Oh, we can't get there from here. Like, this is how games are sometimes. Like, we went there and we couldn't find him, but maybe now that we've had the chat with Otto, now we'll be able to talk with some of the revelers. Excuse me, have you all seen a boy who's a little bit too young for this? Here he is. Master Andreas, what are you doing out here? Thank God I've been looking for you. I thought I told you to stay inside. I was sleeping, but there was a big racket, and I wanted to see what was happening. Father Gurnet, what are you doing out here? I was chasing one of the townsfolk, but lost track of the costume buffoon. He personally comes out and runs around in the woods to catch people and excommunicate them? That's more dedication than I was expecting. I'll say that. I would have assumed that he would have, like, mobilized the bro force to come out and just, like, do it while he slept in bed. The forest is off limits. I'll figure out who's breaking the rules and excommunicate them myself. What was that? Someone is screaming in town. They're really taking this nonsense too far this year. Let's go back to town together and see what the noise was. I like the together because if people are screaming in the dark, I'd like to be with people in the light, especially Caspar. Father Gurnet has joined the party. Huh, I've never seen these flowers before. I wonder where they found them. Who is that running off anyway? I'll say this, it was somebody very large, like Big Jorg sized. It's too hard to tell who's who in those stupid costumes. Let's check on the town first. Big Jorg, Lucky, maybe Endris. And, like, we can see here who's not... Oh, I should also be paying attention to Werner. But who didn't run away just now? Look, because Big Jorg is right there. I'm just saying. Werner, is he dead?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Wait. Oh, no, they were asking Werner. So who is it that died? I should probably be able to recognize him, but don't. Is it Otto?
Someone released the rope. The platform crushed him.
What? How did this happen? Baltus and Lenhard and I heard the crash and stepped outside to see what happened. So, like, we gotta start putting together a list of people that didn't do it. Well, we saw somebody running away, so that's not necessarily somebody that didn't do it. But if Werner, Baltus, and Lenhard are like each other's alibi, they didn't do the crash, I wouldn't think. Right, and then we saw a figure in a costume rushing off from the Rathaus.
It must have been whoever released the rope.
And what were you doing during all of this, Lenhard? Enjoying a light meal with these gentlemen. Ah, what a shame you can't blame me for this, Peter. Caspar, look to see if Otto had a note. Huh? Do it. So that is Otto then. That's right, get all your fingerprints on there. No, Master, there's nothing. Are you certain? What were you expecting? I'm not sure. Oh, Christ. My God! Otto! No, no. I'm not an actor. I'm so sorry, everybody. Crow's asking, wait, can he heal?
You.
The abbot must have killed him. Okay, so unfortunately, no, he didn't, because I'm his alibi. The bastard always had it out for Otto. We all knew it. We need answers.
How dare you? I won't just stand here and be accused of such a foul act by a peasant.
And now I'm running away. He meant I won't stand here and have this happen in the most literal sense.
Go after him!
Wait, no. The abbot was with us. He's innocent. We do have proof. Our testimony. There's no way he could have killed Otto.
Grab the artist and the boy, too. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Caspar, no, don't. Okay, I was about to say don't run because then you look guilty, but then again, it's not like we're going to be taken to the local county jail to interact with the kindly old sheriff here. They are literally a torch-wielding mob right now.
To the abbey!
I don't know if I'm actually in control of this, but I'm going to continue pushing right. So far, I'm good at escaping.
Brothers! To the library, now!
Oh, you can keep running, though.
They ran to the church! This way!
Also, are dual maces a thing in D&D?
They've locked the door. Andreas, get out of the way! Otto's death demands justice!
The abbot couldn't have killed Otto. He was with us when we found the body. That's true, he did arrive with you, but you don't know where he was before that, do you, Andreas?
Who else would have wanted to kill Otto? Coward! Killer! Andreas, move!
We must attend to the law, whoever killed him. I don't know that that's going to be compelling right now. I like this more. If you go after Gernot, the real killer will get away.
No mercy! Face us! He's a monster! If those monks don't come out, we'll set fire to the whole place and cook them! You've all gone mad!
So I have spent a lot of my dialogue choices, a lot of my decisions has been to tell the truth and to treat people honestly. So I am inclined towards, if you don't trust the abbot, trust me. I swear he wasn't the one to do it. He was with me. Yeah, no, that's what we're going to say. I was there too. Master Andreas is telling the truth.
Fine, damn it. You've got one day to find whoever you think is the real killer, Andreas. Otherwise, we will come back for the abbot.
Andreas, all I want is justice for my husband. Please, you must find the murderer. I won't stop until I've found who killed him. It's gonna cut to Andreas like, oh boy, that was a good night's sleep. Now, what was I up to? The peasants are really convinced that Gernot killed Otto, but it was impossible. Peter's temper got in the way. The abbot is an easy target because he was at odds with Otto and his cause. It's no secret that Gurnet and Otto were at odds. I don't wish death on the man, but the abbot is an ass. I like this first one. Master, Peter was furious. He's only giving you 1 day to find the murderer. Why'd you even agree to find who really killed Otto anyway? It didn't turn out well last time, did it? Why do it again? Because it's a video game. The law needs to be upheld. If no one else would do it, I will. I mean, all of these are true. Here's the thing. Everyone deserves justice. I don't like the abbot. But I don't think the abbot deserves to die for something that we know factually he couldn't have done. If he somehow determined a way to fray that rope in such a way that it would have fallen at the exact moment that Otto walked underneath it, and then he walked off into the woods to chase up, like, some random villager and to have this perfect alibi, then we need Adrian Monk over here to solve that one. He didn't do it, and I'm not going to watch him burn for something that he didn't do. Burn him for the shit that he does do, but not for this. I am going to go with the law needs to be upheld. I feel like this is also, like, good and neutral. Like, we're interested in the truth, but this goes to our lawyer background, so I like it more. That's one way to look at it, Master. So, who do you think bit it then? Where do we even start? We should talk to Lenhart. He always hated the peasants and supported the abbot. He was very vocal against Otto in the town commons the other day. I like even if he didn't kill Otto, because we're going to question him. We're not going to assume that he did it. Yeah, as Harmonious Crow says, this is a teaching moment. Like, I am thinking about, like, what are we teaching Caspar here? Which is, don't jump to conclusions. Do fight for what's right. And don't let your emotions or anybody else's emotions get in the way with it right now, because the goal is to find out the truth. What people do with the truth may fall outside your jurisdiction, but the best you can do sometimes is to lead people to, like, these are the facts of it. Oh, and what about Martin Bauer? When we saw him talking to Otto, they seemed to be arguing over something. It's not likely. Martin supported Otto, Ofto, and the presents. If anybody had a bad enough argument, he could have wanted to kill Otto. I'll say this. Martin was not the person who was cloaked in that, like, really big, peasant thing. And also, I do want to note, the person that was running away was not necessarily the person that did the murder. There can be a murderer and a different person that runs away. It would be a hell of a coincidence, though. It would be worth talking to Martin to see what they were discussing. He might have had an idea who wanted to kill Otto. Yeah, again. Good idea. Who else? Well, we'll ask around. More suspects. We'll have to do some more investigating to find out who the murderer is, but we'd better move fast. Could the murderer confess to Father Thomas? Thomas? Of course it would be foolhardy, but people do foolhardy things, especially if they're weighed down by a guilty conscience. It's some sort of a crime and punishment thing, but I can't remember if they wrote a book about it. Well, maybe. Even if the murderer did it, Father Thomas is bound by the seal of confession. He won't tell us. However, we could eavesdrop on confessions. Really? Yeah, we could. Since St. John's Eve just happened, the townsfolk will all come in to confess. Oh, yeah. One of the townsfolk might have heard something anyway. That's a good place to start. We could ask around at the Golden Hand. It is true that a pint or two might loosen some tongues. Let's go with this. I like it more because it goes into our background. What about the person who ran by us in the forest? They were wearing these flowers. I've never seen them before. Look, here's one. Right, we have to find the source of those flowers in the woods.
That woods. That might give us some sort of connection to the killer. We should do that first. Because, like, there's not a lot of woods. In real life, it would be quite daunting. But here in the game, there's only, like, 2 screens. We have a lot of good places to start. Even though time is short, we have a good chance at finding the real killer. Alright, let's get to work. And I think that that's probably going to be the best place to... Yeah, 5 seconds ago. That's going to be, I think, the best place to call it. Because what's going to happen next is probably going to be like a full day of investigation and then probably presenting our case to the others. So I'll tell you this, for the next episode, I think my goal is, number 1, where did the flower come from? Number 2, going to interview the guy who's named Lenhart. Like, I don't, in my, like, right at the moment, have an image in my head about who Lenhart is, but yeah, the last person that was having a heated argument with Otto would be somebody to talk to, but I just feel like that's less promising of a lead than trying to find those yellow flowers. Again, the person that ran may not be the murderer, but what were they running from? They ran past the abbot. They weren't running from the abbot. They were running either to or from something else. We find that person, we might learn a lot more about what they witnessed or maybe what they did. So that's what I want to go and track down. But we're going to call it here. I'm going to go see if we can find somebody fun to raid, and that'll be it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Fox McCloud, Harmonious Crow, Grumpy, and Marquack both cheered earlier. Takarosh, Moo, I think I just acknowledged Grumpy, but I just want to make sure. More Than a Mia was here. Hickey. Did I say Fox McCloud? You see, even in going through the list, I'm like, wait, who have I said versus not said? Patigan and Salamander, just in case I didn't say them. Yeah, you guys, thank you so much. This is going to be a great place to call it for today. And again, on our way out, these next 2 weeks might turn around to be extremely disruptive in terms of the stream schedule. And if that's going to be more than just like missing 1 or 2 streams, if it's really going to be a bunch, then what we'll do is we'll start putting up some of those pre-recorded VODs that we've been talking about. Those have been specifically set aside for an occasion where I wouldn't be able to do normal streams, and we want to keep a steady flow of content. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's more likely that work will be very, very busy, and then the after work streaming schedule will be largely unaffected. So on that note, hopefully we will see you here again tomorrow for either another episode of this or Marvel Midnight Suns. That'll be the plan, and once we know for sure, we'll try to get something up onto the schedule. With that, we're going to go find somebody fun to raid. Thank you guys again, and I hope you have a great night.